Welcome, everyone, to Toy Box Chronicles, because you've watched the rest. Now it's time to watch the best. As always, it is this lovely Wednesday evening, and you're tuning into the sexiest damn podcast on the internet happening right now. And just when you thought that sex appeal couldn't get any better, we have a lot to prove you wrong with a lot of really sexy people joining the podcast today. More importantly, right now, though, my sexy, gorgeous co-host, Alexander Storm, how are you doing today, sir?
Good toy evening to you, brother. Good toy evening to you. And hey, we got a great show for you guys tonight. In fact, it's almost so great that we're surprised how much the greatness we're about to see tonight.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. Well, hey, I don't know. I normally, we have everyone watch, and then we have like another intro. We don't have time for that. This is a crazy show. We're excited. This show, for all of you 850,000 people watching at home right now and not subscribing, that's your fault. We're giving them away for free today and today only. Click subscribe. You're not going to have to pay for shit. We're going to pay for it. But we are going to get into this because tonight is an important night and a fantastic night. And Mr. Storm, please do the honors in introducing some of the sexiest guests you could have on any podcast known to man. We just happen to have him here on Toy Box Chronicles. Mr. Storm, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. One, the Visionary Supreme, and one half of Oddfrog Entertainment. We're going to be the magnificent Kelly's popping in.
Oh, there he is.
What's up, guys?
Kelly,
how you doing, man?
Trying to bring the sexy. I got halfway through my makeup, and
you're good.
Awesome. Glad to be here, guys. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. Second is the better half and the visionary also, and the person that's bringing the Bandito second half in. So if you got the engine, you damn straight need to have the drivetrain in order to make it happen. Yep. That is Eddie. Welcome in tonight, sir. First time on Toy Box Chronicles.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me tonight. Glad to be here, and it won't be the first, and it is the first, but it won't be the last. Let me say that
again. And the man, the myth, the legend, the supreme person in the toy industry, and if you don't have him on your team, then you're missing out, because everybody should be calling him and saying, "Hey, man, we need this dude," because he makes things happen. If you got a Kickstarter and it's not going right, you just add this man in. Ladies and gentlemen, David Vonner.
Hey, what's happening?
There
what's
he
happening?
is. There he is.
So much, man. What's up, crew? So happy to be here.
What it do? How's it going, Devon?
It's good to see all y'all beautiful faces.
Bringing the sexy back, as they say.
That's correct. That is correct.
And I think that needs a round of applause.
I love the sound effects. Please drop a bomb or something. We got to have a whole bunch.
Well, we do have one, but it's not appropriate for the kids tonight. All right. Well, like I said again, my better half over there tells us how to do it. But before we start in, because you know what, we're nothing without the people that's watching us, and God knows there's a lot of people watching us. Let's go with our main man, and actually the head of our convention circuit and everything, and all the guys that make all the hard work go through, from SKN Meeks. Welcome in, Meeks. How you doing tonight, brother?
What's up, Meeks?
Welcome in.
He's also got a little something right there. He's just doing the red face smiling live. So there you go. From the best damn Star Wars podcast. If you're not watching this, then you're not getting the best information on YouTube. Darth Moocher from the Sorlac Digest podcast, who's coming after us tonight. Darth Moocher will probably run late. Sorry, brother.
Darth Moocher. What's up?
Also from the SKN family, Dr. Brentley. Like I said, thank you for coming in. Oh, we got all the.
What's up, Dr. Brantley?
What up, Doc?
We got Crooked Smiles Collectibles, the third member of Toy Box Chronicles. A lot of people don't understand, but he's in. But also Mr. Customizer Supreme. He can't wait to get his hands on the Bandito, because
the gang is
customizing the hell out of it.
Looks like the gang is coming out tonight.
Sir. Yes, sir. We've got some other aspects coming in. Well, Darth Moocher just says a full house and everything. So we'll wait. If anybody wants to say anything, also the people over at X, we see you. Thank you for popping in. Anybody over Instagram, thanks for popping in. Also,
we got the stereo flowers in here. Yo, all right.
I saw that. And also for everybody on Rumble that's listening, thank you for the numbers over there too as well. So we see you, we hear you. Just because you don't pop on the screen doesn't mean that we don't see you. So tonight, there's something that's going on that's making ripples in the industry. And when there's ripples, it's like in Jurassic Park, you see that cup bounce, you know the T-Rex is coming. Mm-hmm. Well, the T-Rex of radio stations is coming. And we are here tonight to talk about the mammoth T-Rex of them all, Bandito Radio.
That's
112 FM.
Yep.
Right. 112 FM Bandito Radio, which is an independent whole radio broadcast station that we kind of created with David Vonner spearheading the whole thing. We brought him on as project manager quite some time ago, and like I said, things began to evolve, and now we're at a point where we now have a radio station with DJs, music, all sorts of stuff, and we're going to get into details and how you can get a hold of it, how you can listen to it, and how it combines the Bandito, toy photography, action figures, and everything all into one.
Yep.
Man, he summed that up like he's done this for a living right there, brother.
I know he's built for radio, baby.
Eddie, we might have a job for you over at Bandito Radio.
I'm here for it, man. Sign me up.
Since the stereo flowers are in here, I just have to give a shout out. Like, I'm really enjoying the songs that they lent to us. I've enjoyed listening to it as if it's music I would go to and listen to. There's something they're doing with their rhythms, with the vocals, that's almost like a polyrhythm kind of thing, and it's so on point. So appreciate you, and thank you for sending us your music, Stereo Flowers.
Absolutely. I mean, I honestly think that, we're all like music lovers and stuff. Yeah. But it's so refreshing to hear these independent artists. I mean, they're hits. I mean, they're literally like, we have hit songs already lined up, and I mean, if it would take you and you will constantly be putting that song on repeat, so big thanks to them, man, and everybody else involved. I mean, we really got some high level independent artists really doing their thing.
Yeah, I was actually blown away by the quality of the music that we got from people. More is coming in. I got some more like kind of old school death metal stuff that's coming in that I wasn't able to get on this block, which I figure we'll probably go live at the end of the show with it so people can listen to it afterwards. And it's our first block of music. We've got comedy. We have action figure frequencies in there. We've got Howlin' Jim Jackson, and who's our new radio personality. And and it's really interesting because the whole time we've been trying to keep this toy focus, and it just so happens that there's a lot of the music in there revolves around toys and action figures and stuff. So you have so much of everything. It's really great.
Yeah, it really is eclectic. I mean, like Kelly said, from death metal, hip hop. We're gonna have some country in there. Wow. I mean, it's some electronic music. So, I mean, like it's really, really like I was listening to the block and shout out to Kelly, man. Kelly's been working, burning the both sides, top and bottom. Like really, really giving this all to make it happen. And
hold on. There's something popped in. Actually, we're getting this alert or something. Wait a minute. Hold on. We've got to go to it. I'm sorry, guys. We've got to switch to it.
Well, hello, my lively, lovely, loyal listeners.
My goodness.
Jim Jackson from 112 Bandito FM. Oh, I messed that up. I just wanted to jump on the line and into your brainwaves to tell you all at Action Figure Frequencies, welcome to the Bandito Radio family, baby.
What up? It's Jim Jackson in the building.
Wow.
I love it.
That is fantastic. Do we have any questions for Howlin' Jim?
I do, Howlin'. How do you get your voice so damn silky, bro? How do you do that, sir?
I learned being sexy from Chet.
That's true. I forgot about that. We did have that conversation one time. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But I heard you guys were talking about Bandito Radio, and I just wanted to jump on the line and just explain the beauty of Bandito Radio. We've got a little something for everybody, baby. I mean, whether you're setting up a diorama for the perfect shot, why don't you tune into some independent jams to rock your shots? Or maybe you're customizing one of the 112 scale action vehicles like the Bandito to run over zombies. Why not tune in to Myra's Morgue and Midnight Madness for some inspiration? You need to stay current on all things collectible and toys? Well, Action Figure Frequency now has you covered, baby.
I love it. For all you AI haters out there, this is not AI. So give this man his props. Jim Jackson deal.
Jim, anything else before you go? Because we know you're willing and dealing, jet flying, limousine drinking. So, what do we got?
My amazing, ambitious, adventurous artists. I do need to get back to slinging those records and taking requests. Action Figure Frequency, welcome to the family here at 112 FM Bandito Radio. Ow!
Yeah, thanks, bud.
Special guest for the evening. Salute.
He's got such a silky, smooth voice.
Wow.
Man, when I was a kid, I absolutely love Wolfman Jack.
Yeah.
And having Howlin' Jim Jackson is like our Wolfman Jack. And I absolutely, I'm like a little kid every time I hear his voice. I'm a little kid, man. I'm like, that's Howlin' Jim Jackson.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
It's that instant connection we want. Everything we do here, we want to somehow resonate with that inner being in you and bring out that connection, that memory. And, Jim Jackson does that very well, along with with a lot of our stuff, you'll be seeing that.
Yeah,
So-
I first became aware of Wolfman Jack through American Graffiti. And when David came, we have meetings every week, and David came at us this one meeting. He's like, guys, I've been thinking about it. The Bandito is a muscle car. What's the first thing you do when you get in your muscle car or your car? You want tunes. You want to turn on the radio. And, that kind of got us all going. And my mind almost instantly just clicked back to Wolfman Jack from American Graffiti. And I'm like, oh, we got to have something like that,
Mm-hmm.
And so it just seemed a perfect fit. Our great friend Mikey and producer is a voice actor, and he nailed it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Meek.
I mean, I'll be honest though. I had a few classic cars, and the first thing I always did was look to see if someone touched my damn car.
Yeah.
Fingerprints. And then when I got then I turned on the radio.
And you can always tell if they did, if that radio was moved, like
exactly.
somebody was in.
I would walk around, wipe the fingerprints off, and I actually do have, this is a little premature, okay? I get it. But I do have a request for the Bandito as a add-on pack. And I would like to request a fully functioning mini 8-track player. Because I want to put that right on the left side under the dash, right by your leg where they always were.
Yep,
and then you have little baby 8-track players we could put in there.
What'd be cool is you could do like a little SD card that was looked like
the
an
micro
8-track or
SD
something.
card.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All this is trademarked, so no one use it because we'll have to go after you. That's just the way this works.
Once again.
That's dope. I mean, my first car, man, was an '82 Firebird, man. And
wow!
It was a death trap. Like the the transmission was shot, the muffler was hanging off. I mean, but it looked dope. It looked like the Knight Rider, right? It looked like Kit. Yeah. But the only thing new I had in there was my tape player that I could pull out. You know what I'm saying? And tape and stuff. That was the only sophisticated thing in that mug.
And how much time did you enjoy spending with your car in the garage? Like, was that not your haven? Was that not your space? That's essentially what the Chop Shop and the Bandito is. Like, we're trying to make the Chop Shop be your tabletop garage, like that, where you can customize your vehicle, whip out your camera. And now with the addition of Bandito Radio, elevates it to a whole new level. I mean, it literally, like David said in one of our meetings, it's like GTA radio. What do you do when you're playing GTA? You hop in the car and you find a station. Same thing when you essentially do with the Bandito. You'll get your Bandito. You'll go right. You'll get certain, like, we're figuring it all out. But you'll scan like a QR code. It'll bring you to Bandito Radio. You'll start hearing music, and it'll have announcements. It'll have Hal and Jim Jackson. It's going to be, I mean, it's definitely something that's never been done before. So we're definitely excited.
Like, it's the first time that I can think of really when your collectible is you're immersed in the soundtrack of your collectible. You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
Like, you're totally immersed in your collectible. So no matter who you have, the Bandito or Punisher or Blade or even like Malone from Advent Comics, you know what I mean? It's like or even if it's just on its own and it's just on its shelf, when you're playing the Bandito Radio, that is your collection coming to life. It's the soundtrack of your collection, man. And it's so synonymous, like music and all that is just so synonymous with what we do and what we love. So it's just a really cool extension of a collectible. And also music is a collection. Like, people collect music, whether it's albums, tapes, CDs, digital files, whatever. I mean, you keep them and they're close to you. They mean something. You know what I mean? It's currency. So like we're loading this up with current currency for the collector. You know what I mean? And it's so dope. It's so dope.
Various multiple forms that it's just coming into you, like auditory, visually, in kits, and it's just, and the collaborations, like you mentioned, like in Bandito Radio, there'll be announcements for the next the next South Side, or there will be like a newsreel. Let's say something happens in the comic, in the Oddfrog comic, there's an accident and an explosion. Like, there will be like live interruptions in Bandito Radio talking about what happened in last issue's comic or what may happen in next issue's comic. We want to immerse you in the world as much as we can with visuals, with auditory sounds, with I mean, all sorts of things. We're coming at you with the comics, with the figures. I mean, yeah.
And go ahead, Kelly. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to tie in what you were saying about music and toys, David. And Darth Moocher said, sold me at death metal. So he's a man after my own heart. But what I've found I played in a death metal band, and as I've probably said way too many times on podcasts, but I loved the music so much. And in this whole journey, I've become good buddies on Instagram. Shout out to my boy Danny from Malignancy, who's one of my top 5 favorite death metal bands of all time. And he was like, he saw us on Bat Bomb, I think. And he's like, I often forget how much crossover there is in the toy world to music world and how many of these guys love us. I'm a Cannibal Corpse fan. If you look at their lead singer, I mean, he plays the stuffed animal machines and gives it away to Kids for Cancer. He collects all the Marvel Legends. I mean, the crossover is real, and it is. It very much is. And it when we were talking before we got on, about how certain toy companies, man, when you work for a toy company, you have a cool big idea, and it winds up becoming like a death by paper cuts. And this is part of the beauty of independent toy making, especially what I love to bring, man, is those ideas that don't get shot down. You know what I mean? Like why not? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's give it a shot, and don't let you can't do it become the narrative. Let's push it beyond where it is,
Yeah. Especially right now. I mean, like everything's so up in the air, and it's like if you have an idea, and specifically speaking in like the community that we're all in, when you have an idea, people's first response is like, oh, but it's toys. And it's like, well, yeah, oh, but those are vinyl records. Oh, but those are, vintage books. So those are, it's like, it's the same thing. The only difference is that like our passion exists because when we were kids, we just didn't see the stuff made that we wanted to be made, and all the stuff we wanted to buy, we bought. And now we just want to make what didn't exist for the next generation. And that's one of the biggest things that drew me to the Bandito when first found out about it. I was like, there's no way that this thing has 76 removable parts and it's at the price point that it's at. And I was like, this has to be like a deposit. This has to be something else. And the more and more I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this is where it's at. This is where you can tell that a group of people got together and we're like, let's think of this from the consumer out versus profit in. Right. And so I think that's massive. And like you were saying, David, like everyone is so quick and easy to just say, you shouldn't, or I can't, or that's not going to happen, or you can't do this. And it's like, realistically, if you approach anything, and everyone here kind of knows what I've talked about wanting to make off camera. If you approach everything from my only hurdle is how much it's going to cost as entry to get in for tooling and everything else, it doesn't really matter. Everything is there.
You'll never do anything. Yeah.
Mr. Deadman has shown up. And it's Deadmanwon. It's as in like you won. So everybody needs to get that straight. Okay. You can't mess that up.
It's the past tense of winning. That's all there is.
My glass to the brother.
I'm sorry I'm so late. The tomb ran late. The tomb is actually still happening right now, guys. And
right.
That's when it comes to the social media live thing, that's my priority at this point in my life. But thanks for letting me come. Here I am. Eddie, it's great to see you. It's been a long time.
It's been a minute. Yeah, it has.
I informed everybody when you came. I was gonna show you my Deadman bottle.
Yeah, we brought our bottles out tonight,
cheers, guys. hold on. I'll save that shot for later.
Everybody's pouring one for Deadman tonight.
Are we doing this? Are we doing this?
Yeah, we're doing this.
Cheers.
I love it. I love it.
Raw dog in it.
Stereo
I did that a little too much in my 20s. I can't hang no more.
That's a must-have, guys. That's a must-have for Bandito Radio.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
We need
send it over.
Chanel. That's a true story about an ex who slashed the tires, and well, I think everybody's had that happen. Actually, there's not.
Fun
I think I've had an accident.
Right.
And everything else. Who has had a car?
You ain't living until you almost came close to death, baby.
Yeah, fun fact.
It sounds like Carrie Underwood was your ex.
I do have to say, I've never had an ex slash my tires, but I used to have a Monte Carlo with T-tops. I did have an ex jump over the window and stab me in the top of my head with a screwdriver once.
Oh man,
I'll take the slash tires any day, please.
That is epic.
Yeah, most definitely. I gotta put that on my
fact.
playlist.
Yeah, the Chevelle, the Bandito is modeled after like a Chevelle with some modifications. So that's pretty dope. Check that one out.
I love it, man. Like the Bandito itself is just so audacious. You know, that was like the thing that drew me in. You know, honestly, man, the Brutal Realm guys were like, hey, man, you know, it's this crew, the Oddfrog, and you know, they need to talk to you. You need to talk to them. And when I started checking their stuff out, man, and just saw how audacious the Bandito is, man, that's what made me fall in love. That's what made me fall in love with toy designing just in general. Just being audacious with your idea, man, and finding a way to make it happen. You know, so I love I actually get motivated. It's funny, we like Kelly said, we meet every week. I get motivated whenever I hear people tell me that I can't do something or something is wrong or whatever. Like I'm a rebel, man. Like I'm the kid that you can't, you know, drag on the roof because I'm going to try to climb up there again and jump and do all kind of stuff that I'm told not to do, just because, you know what I'm saying? So the ideas really flow whenever we meet some type of obstacle, and that's usually how it comes, man. And that's how it should be. You know, that's what sparks innovation, creativity. But that push and pull thing, man, that lets you like really do it.
Yeah. Much appreciate Grim Spectre for putting us in contact. And I was like, David Vonner, like I know that guy. We worked at Mattel together, and we didn't work on projects together, but they would put certain people in brainstorms, no matter what team it was, if that was kind of your gig, and you could you had good ideas and stuff. So me and David would end up being in the same room and passing each other at the gym. And you know, David, what I always remember about you is it's like we've had the same conversation since way back then. It was about independence and creativity, all the same stuff that we're literally getting to do now. So thank you, sir, once again, for being a part of it.
Man. Absolutely.
Thank you for letting me be a part of it, man. And that's the cool thing, man, when you can really vibe and then be like, you know what, let's take this vibe and actually make it something. You know, I don't give a shit about failing. To me, you learn so much from failing. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to fail. Or, you know, the ego doesn't be like, hey, man, my career is going to hinge on this. Man, forget all that.
No, you can't grow without failure. You can't grow without failure.
When I'm dead and gone, that's what will make the difference. But while I'm here right now, it's like, man, we're going to make it happen any way that we can.
Winston Churchill said that success is the ability to move from one failure to another without a loss of enthusiasm, and that's kind of what we go by at this point.
Every day, I can say I can wake up and look at those cars and the ideas, and every Monday morning again, it's like that reinvigoration is there. Like the closer we get, like we talk about what we need to do, we start checking those things off. Like at the end of 2024, what did we say? We wanted to do more collaborations and conventions, and now we're collaborating with Advent Comics, collaborating with these people and those people, and now we're attending Toylanta. So the more you talk about it and the more you piece it together, the more you see it come true, and the more it does come true. I mean, you make it happen. That's all it is.
Death Mucha, you're right, man. Like Yoda said, man, do or do not. There is no try.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
we
that's
doing.
Do is just do it, you know, or sit your ass down and don't do nothing. And I'm not gonna sit my ass down and do nothing.
You gonna watch or you gonna do? That's it.
Right.
If you think it can't be done, you must unlearn what you have learned.
Yeah,
there's my Yoda quote.
That's the problem.
There you go. You guys can hop on the Starlack anytime, man, because they definitely, that Star Wars quote that hits their hearts right there. Let's talk about Toy Atlanta, because we've got we'll pull this up on the screen right here.
Okay.
And we've got some news over at Toy Atlanta. But if you're planning on going, well, this would be the best year to go because the greatest crew on the face of the planet is going to go.
The whole crew.
Oh man, can you turn that knife a little harder?
What? Wait a minute, man! I didn't know you weren't coming. Sorry, bro. I didn't know that. I thought you were flying out, man.
Poor Deadman's been planning on going to our first convention for like a year now.
Yeah, okay. The information came just a little bit late. If it would have been like literally 3 weeks earlier, I could have made it, but I can't.
All right. Well, we'll be there. Well, you'll be there because we're going to live stream directly from that convention. So we'll have you on the live stream when we do it. So you'll be there in spirit, my friend. We're going to have Oddfrog Entertainment. Oddfrog's Entertainment's going to be there.
Ready.
Bandito Radio will be there. David Bonner will be there. Last minute situations, but Chet and myself will be making the trip down there as well. So, and again, Deadman will be there live stream. He will be there though, so it's like being there. But if you want some information, it's going to be March 28th, 29th, and 30th. I know it says Toy Atlanta, but it's technically in Duluth, Georgia. So. And ticket prices are extremely reasonable. Classic ticket, $25. They got some 40 at the door, some special Toy Atlanta 25 badges. So they've got some things. Look, I've heard this is probably one of the premier and better conventions. I've never been to it, so I've got a little excitement. Mr. Vonner, I know you've been to it, right?
Oh, yeah. I love it, man. I mean, it's a dope convention, man. They treat you right. It's fun. I love the smaller conventions, actually, man, because it's much more intimate. You have more fun. You get to see more stuff, more interaction. Love it.
Yeah. And like I said, again, from the Stereo
I'm
Flowers.
sorry. And shout out to Brett, the organizer, man. He's the man. He's the man. Yeah. And he linked up with Val from PowerCon, and they're doing some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, and also Stereo Flowers just let us know, which was also announced earlier, that PowerCon and Toy Atlanta are teaming up.
Yep.
So the same people that cross promote will be doing the same thing. So look, when you can get two really good conventions together, that only helps it, makes it grow, and it actually makes it a mainstay on the convention circuit. So I'm so glad that's happening. Thank you guys for pointing that out to us. It's extremely important, I think, to get your product in front of people. And I think that when they see the Bandito live, that's going to be the aspect that changes, because, it's sometimes something so awesome that you don't really know what it is until it's in your face. That's exactly what this vehicle does. When you look at it, you're like, there's a lot of things to imitate, but this is the thing that will basically stand on its own.
Did you figure that for real?
Made it on the spot.
That's what we do, brother.
Cheers.
Well, and really, our thing is we want people to really have that in-hand experience, like you're saying, Alex. Mm-hmm. The car, when we got the prototype and pulled it out of the box, we were kind of as amazed as everybody else at the quality of it. The way it's weighted with the batteries under the engine hood, it's got a very nice balanced feel. There's magnets in the adjustable front seats that move back and forward and can be completely removed. Mm-hmm. The 76 pieces is a large part of the price tag because you have to tool every single piece. But it was really important for me and Eddie, like we've said 1,000 times, to build a car for collectors that we could afford ourselves. Mm-hmm. Technically, I can't even really afford one right now, but it's priced to where your average collector, I think, could get a vehicle of this caliber. And then the other thing is, after the fact, we want to provide the kits and extra bodies and things like that can help you not be afraid to put your hands on the car and customize it and stuff like that.
I'm not going to. Let's talk about the competition a little bit. Yeah, we don't have to say any names or anything like that, but let's.
We love controversy on the show, man. Do what you got to do. We don't care.
So the competition started at what was it? It was
225.
No, it didn't start there. No, it started way cheaper. It started like 190, I think it was. That was the pre-order thing, and then all of a sudden it went up to 225. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it went up again to 250, and now it's at 270. And we're talking about something that's been in production over and over and over at this point.
Oh,
I just
wow.
want to know. I don't understand why this is happening. Why is it?
I don't
why
either. At that
why
point,
is it costing more as it goes on? Because you know, I've been hanging out with the Oddfrog guys now for a couple of years. You know, well, at least a year. And we've been talking about all this shit, and I know a lot more about the toy industry just because of these guys, Eddie and Kelly over here. And it just doesn't make any sense to me that the price just keeps going up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know
the shipping cost as well. That's not added in with the shipping. The shipping on that thing is between $50 to $75 as well.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say anything else about it because I am drunk, and if I keep talking, I will say something I regret. Because I don't want to say any names or anything, but it just doesn't make sense to me that the one thing that's it's in production right now, but the price just keeps going up.
Yeah,
I think
the one thing that does happen is like the cost of goods do go up. You know, a lot. The cost of materials go up. You know, shipping. You know, is a lot. You know, and then you got to plan for certain incidentals, and sometimes that's baked into the cost. You know what I'm saying? So. You know, even though you can kind of manage that, that's one of the reasons why those prices do go up. You know, like it's inevitable. It's going to happen. The challenge is how do you work along with that, but also make it, not impact the customers so much. You know what I mean? And that's when the big toy companies, that's when they start doing the death by paper cuts. You know, unfortunately, they'll take away the fun or the magic, but still have the high price. You know what I'm saying? So with the independent, company, you can kind of like take more of that risk. You know,
makes sense.
Okay.
Which is exactly what we did. We, knowing that we weren't just here for a one-shot deal, which we were offered manufacturing by certain other entities that have things in the marketplace right now. And I don't want to talk bad about anybody, and I haven't seen anybody else's product in hand. So it's neither here nor there for me. I just know that there's plenty of room for everybody. And that the reason we priced ours the way we did is to get into the market. We had a vision. We want to get to the market, and we feel like if we can continue to produce quality once we're in the market, the success of the business will come, and all those things we won't have to worry about. It's just literally we needed to get our name out there and the actual product in people's hands so they could see what it is we're building.
Makes sense.
And a great thing about what you just said there, Kelly, is like throughout all these things that have been happening with our economy and all this stuff, you're able to keep that price.
Yeah,
That's largely due to our manufacturer and our engineer in Hong Kong, who is honoring the original price that he gave us. So yeah, it's pretty extraordinary. I mean, I was going to say, to go off what David was talking about, toys are a petroleum product. So any little fluctuation in barrels and all that kind of stuff is going to drastically change the cost of your car. When I was at Mattel, I worked on Thomas and Friends. I was the lead designer on the wood line. And there was huge increases in wood labor production in China during that time, to where every week for about 5 weeks, the wood labor costs would go up 5%, which means by the end of me designing something, I'd have to go back and start again because it was 25% more than what it cost 5 weeks ago. So yeah.
So, but either way, you're able to keep your price the same, and we'll go back and pretend like I didn't talk any shit at all. We'll go back.
Yeah, that's fine.
And but you're able to keep your price the same for as long as you have, and that alone is amazing.
Part of that is the buffering we built into it too, as well. Like I said, we were offered to go with cheaper manufacturing for the car that would have got the car with all its pieces built, but it was significantly cheaper to manufacture, like $60,000 from this particular entity that you were talking about earlier. And I just didn't see that could be pulled off without somehow taking away from the quality of what we had done. And Eddie and I, from the beginning, have always wanted to be a premium brand. Yes, we do want to price it well and competitively, but we don't want to sacrifice the premium that we were all talking about in the green room that we've watched toy companies do over and over again. You know, so
there's just no way to sacrifice quality.
Well, right. And you know, also too, to your point, man, how you say, like, you know, like, I don't want to talk shit, you know.
Guys, excuse me real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'll be right back.
No worries.
But, you know, as a customer, you have to talk shit. And then what happens with the manufacturer is, like, my thing is negotiate. And that's the thing that people don't understand, what happens behind the scenes, because you're always going to get like the high quote, but then you got to negotiate that. You know, that's what agents do. You know, that's what you're supposed to do as the project manager. Like, you're not taking no for the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to take that first what you're handed with. You're not going to take that as the end result. Like, hey, man, all right, let's communicate. You show me this price. This is what everything is. We did the whole breakdown. Now let's work the numbers a bit. What can you do? What cost savings can we have? You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to negotiate, and like a lot of sometimes, man, that's when that street stuff comes in, like that's like you got to like, you know, some of the most powerful, you know, people that you see in certain industries, man, they have a little bit of street in them. You know what I mean? They have a little bit of hustle in them, because you got to try to figure out a way that's going to be beneficial for everybody on board. But at the same time, like, come on, man, I know that what you offer me with the first hand, we can get a better deal.
Yeah. And I think too, to your point, what a lot of people forget is, like, this is like your baby. This is your thing you want to bring to life for everybody else. And you fight so hard to get it into just conception, right? Prototyping, everything else. And it's like, a lot of times I see a lot of creatives and artists that fight really hard to get to that stage, and they don't fight as hard to make the vision come to life when it comes to like negotiations. And I think that a lot of times from a negotiation perspective, a lot of people have a tendency to not know that they can negotiate from power. So just as much as like Eddie and Kelly and everyone who wants to get the Bandito made, right? That the manufacturers want the product as well. They want to be able to produce that product.
Right. They're not going to turn down the business.
Yeah, they're not going to turn down the business. And look, if they're like, we want to do it for 200,000, you're like, cool, I want you to do it for 125. And they go, well, what about 150? It's like, cool, perfect, thanks. Like that's, and so, but I think that a lot of times we as like creatives and people that have been screwed over in the industry or had like big turndowns and failures and things like that, a lot of times we forget that with every failure, there's a level of success, meaning that you can fail once and then you don't repeat that. So the next time you fail, it's because you're finding something new out, right? And a lot of times in our industry, especially trying to get things made and trying to launch it, whatever it is, clothing line, toy lines, you know, card games, whatever it is, YouTube channels, the negotiation piece is just as, if not more important than the actual product piece. Because if you can't get the Bandito sold for 189, 190, 200, whatever you want to sell it for, then it's not really your dream. You're letting someone else dictate your dream versus like, look, I'll give you this product, but you're going to get it to me for this price. And if you can't do it, it's not a problem. I'm not in a rush. I'll see you later. I can figure it out somewhere else.
Right.
And so I think that's important, is like your dream exists from conception to production, and you should drive that with support from other people who just have more knowledge in the industry, where it's like, hey, maybe I'm not really good at this. Do you mind taking this over? And then somebody that also shares the same vision and dream and wants to build it jumps in, and then they're like, oh, I'm real good at negotiating. I'll be back. So yeah.
Especially if your thing is about keeping the cost, like the price down, you know, for the consumer, then you gotta fight for that, you know, and exhaust whatever measures that you can possibly exhaust.
Yeah. It's the reason we've been doing this as long as we have. You know, early on, we got ripped off like everybody else from another entity that was trying to build a car.
Yeah. And
we just wanted to continue that vision and get the car that we promised to people. So
well, hold on real quick. I would like to just interrupt that for a second, because the car you're offering now doesn't even compare to the car that was offered back then. I mean, it's a completely different thing. Like there's no need to even. Honestly, I don't even think there's any need to talk about this because it's completely different thing, completely different people. It's not even close to what was offered and what happened then, where you guys got ripped off along with a lot of other people in the community. Like it's not the same thing.
Yeah, and you know,
and the only reason why I'm saying that is because I talked to you guys like in the thick of all that. Yeah, you know, like when all that went down and you guys like brought this car, the Bandito, to the community, and there was all kinds of talk about this and that. But what you guys are bringing to the community is a completely different product. There's almost no difference. Kelly, you just sent me like back-to-back photos of what was offered there and you didn't have to show me the pictures of the Banditos, but I had them already. I compared them. There's so many differences. It's not even close to the same thing.
It's really not even close. And I would say I make this analogy all the time, and nothing to talk bad about Lightning McQueen. I love Lightning McQueen. I worked on Lightning McQueen, but it wasn't even a Lightning McQueen, right? The doors didn't shut properly and they didn't line up. There was no interior. It was just an empty shell.
No, but it looked like some Fisher Price shit that I had when I was
going to say, it looked like it was designed for two different demographics, like 4-year-olds versus 18-year, like us. You know what I'm saying?
Which you tell him, Eddie, it was the whole reason we reached out.
I reached out to him because the idea was great. Essentially, 1/12 scale cars for, he had just tried to create cars for action figures, but the car looked like it fit like the little.
They weren't designers.
Play school, little, looked like play school. You know what I'm saying? Like for kindergarteners. Yeah. And so then I took designs and I evolved them, and I, took the Chevelle, made it look rad. I put the scoop on it. We made the wheels bigger on the back.
Blew out the dashboard, created an interior. We didn't even start with his base file. We completely redid the car. And our car that we designed for him never even saw the light of day. Yeah. So, we didn't even get to compare and contrast to what our design would have been of his car by the time he split with leaving us with a $6,500.
But you graced me with that though. You showed me the photos of what you had for him and the photos that. What I'm trying to say is like, forget all that. That shit doesn't fucking matter. That whole situation was fucking garbage. You guys got ripped off more than anyone else.
About anyway. $10,000.
And you know what? They didn't bury their head in the sand.
Yeah, true.
And that's the most important thing. Like when stuff like that happens, you gotta like be like a bison and walk right into the snowstorm. You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot bury your head and say you gotta confront
like a bison.
You know what I'm saying? And can I just shout out to my favorite editor in chief?
That's why I wanted you to do that. I saw that pop up, and I knew that you wanted to do that. Go ahead, sir.
Say that again, David.
Shout out to Blake Wright from Toy Collector Magazine. I love you, brother.
Yes, sir, Mr. Blake.
He's my editor in chief, man. I love you. And
brother. Shout out to Blake for putting us in his beautiful magazine and coming to visit us on his tour of toy companies. Really made us feel like a big shots that day. So thank you very much, sir. And we actually have an offer for you concerning Bandito Radio. So we'll get at you about that.
It's just going to cost you 3 easy payments of $14,995 and $32,000 shipping and handling.
But it is Chet. He's the accountant, Chet deals with all our monetary issues. Yeah, talk to Chet.
But seriously, brother, we so appreciate you putting on us in that magazine and coming on that little tour and including us. I mean, what a gift.
Coming up to the 7th, coming up to Otis to take a tour of where we went to school. We got to show you the shop and everything. That was pretty cool, man. Just sitting there hanging out. I don't know, gave us a lot of credibility credibility and like encouragement just for ourselves. Something we needed mentally, just having you there. Yeah. It was great, man.
Collector Magazine is blowing up, man.
Like sure is.
With every issue, man, they're doing bigger and better stuff, bigger and better cover reveals and everything, man. Like I love it because it's us, it's our community. You know what I mean? And
that's cool, Al.
That's like our Life magazine or our Time magazine.
One thing I will say about this, and this is something that I think Toy Collector needs to funnel. But we talk about, I mean, I don't know how many of us in this chat were in bands growing up. I toured the U.S. playing drums. I know Kelly was in metal bands.
I was a drummer in high school. I was in
I played trumpet in high school.
Okay, so we've all been in music, and we're all old enough to remember zines. And I'm upset that there's not a toy. There's not a toy zine.
Yeah, okay? It's Kelly. Talk about that, Kelly.
Yeah.
Chet, that is actually kind of amazing because I actually did like 4 or 5 zines of my own, but the problem is I was in tons of bands, so it was really hard to keep doing them. I did like maybe like 3 issues of each zine, but they were a lot of fun and
so much fun.
And when a lot of people would ask me to like contribute to their zine,
Break
and
down what a zine is.
I wouldn't. Well, it's basically a fan made thing. It's a lot of like scene reports. It's a lot of has to do with what's happening where you're at with music.
Like more underground, like
yeah.
And it was always black and white because we couldn't afford color from FedEx or Kinko's. And it was really exactly what he says. Just like, this is what's happening with our band, but also go check out House of Blues. Go check this out. This is what's going on. This is a garage
basically
party.
A paper version of Bandito Radio in a way.
People,
dude, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, kind of, yeah. That's why I was like all about it when Kelly was telling me about it. I was like, yeah, this is not a bad idea. But yeah, so
look at that scroll
back to what I was saying. People would get so mad at me because I would give them what I wanted to contribute to or contribute to their zine, and they're like, can you type this? I'm like, no, I wrote that in hand. The E's are backwards. It was really hard for me to make the E's backwards and all of that. Like that was super hard for me to do. No, you just photocopy this and put it in your fucking zine. Anyway, I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent.
On the zine rant. Sorry.
It was an artistic, it was an artistic deal, and like, anyway.
Here's the thing that we've been kind of like rolling through, and like we got to take a moment. And there's a point where people say like they run with the word shields and everything. That's not what it is. There's a point. Everybody on this panel is authentic to themselves, and again, we love Deadmanwon for being who he is, popping in and doing what he does. Bonner, Kelly, Eddie, especially the Illmatic Chet Maddox. I think that you're getting something that you haven't seen before. No one here is cookie cutter. Everyone is blazing their own path in their scenario, and I don't know if you will see that again in this industry. And that's the beautiful thing about everybody teaming up. There, they say there's no I in team, but there is an ME, and a lot of people will run for that scenario. But it's quite amazing when you see an eclectic group like this and the brash honesty that goes off, because a lot of times people have egos, and I never sensed an ego with anybody here, and that's something that I think is going to take this industry and kind of take it to the next level.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, back to the death metal thing again. My favorite guys in the scene were always nice to their fans, and you see some guys that were just completely rude, and it just sours your whole experience on that. And, for me, we're all fans, just doing what fans do. We just have, means and ability to kind of make our own stuff. But at the end of the day, we're all fans, and nobody here wants to go home with a sour feeling.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we all lay our heads down on a pillow. You know what I'm saying? We all go to sleep the same way, essentially. So we're all human,
It's nothing more heartbreaking, though.
Honored to have you, bro.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's
that's my favorite band on Bandito Radio. Right?
They're bringing it, man,
for real.
You haven't heard DKC yet.
No, but it's coming.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I actually got the license. Did you get the license? I sent it to you today.
Yeah, I did.
Got it signed.
Yep.
Business,
Excellent.
guys. Business.
Also, not to cut off Mr. Vonner, but if Stereo Flowers, if you guys also have not just being on Bandito Radio, but if you have a website or anything, put that down in the comments as well, so people can find you offline whenever they want to hear some of your fine music other than Bandito Radio. But go ahead, Mr. Vonner, the floor is yours.
I mean, and before I lose my thought, man, I got a shout out with the Stereo Flowers is Brian Bergman, and he's also in a group called Stratos too. So like, and we got both of them.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they're both dope. But what I was gonna say is, man, there's nothing more heartbreaking than like when you dream about working at a particular company like all your life, right? And then you get in there and then you realize that the people that have to make certain decisions aren't fans of what it is that the company is about. Like, it is so heartbreaking, man. Yeah. And like, I just cannot fathom that. You know what I mean? I just can't. I'm out. Whether everything goes completely awry, whatever, I will always be a fan of toys, always be a fan of comic books, you know what I mean? Always be a fan of like horror and music and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just love it. You know, it just, if I have money or I'm flat broke, I'll always be a fan of that. And I just cannot fathom when someone is steering a ship or behind the wheel and they know nothing about what it is that they're, you know, driving. They have no idea about it.
Yeah, and a lot of the times they're just waiting to move on to their Amazon numbers job or their whatever. You know, it's toys is not why they're there. But if you're the creative and you sought that company out, you're there to work on He-Man because you love it. But the numbers guy is just waiting, you know, this is good portfolio or resume piece till they move on to a higher paying job.
Right. And that's what make me think, like when did the kid die in you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always had this thought, like when do people become old people? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a point in your life when you become the old person, you know, where you just like, you're that curmudgeon. You don't want anyone walking on your grass. You don't laugh anymore. You know what I mean? Kids get on your nerves, but it's like, we were all kids. You can't find that in you somewhere. You know,
that's why we all still have action figures, though. You know what I'm saying? That's why we do what we do to stay alive, to stay young, to keep that in us.
Like that imagination.
If you ever listen to like the old like baseball players or basketball players, like Magic Johnson, if you ever listen to Magic Johnson talk about the old days when he played basketball, in his mind, he's right back there on the court, like on a blacktop. You know what I mean? Like he is just going crazy with like the hee and all that other stuff. Like, in his mind,
he knows it. Yeah,
he knows it, and he'll never ever. That will never ever leave him. That love or that excitement, that smell, that feeling. It never leaves you. You know what I mean?
It's inside, and it makes you who you are. You can't. It's not something you can imitate or fake, because it is you. Like, it's
well. And I think the thing that's great with toy photography, several things, is that first of all, you can get back into that play vibe by setting up and creating artsy, you know, scenes and stuff like that. But also, it's almost like mastering something new, right? You can get better at it. There's a whole growing population of people online that see your stuff and comment and give you feedback, and it opens up a new world to master.
Yeah.
Just like what Dr. Brantley just said, you know what I'm saying? You don't know whose life you're going to change. Just be yourself. Like, at the end of the day, you don't know who's talking about you and be like, man, I just met David Bonner and Kelly and Eddie, and like, I can't believe I just met the whole team. Like, that's going to make the highlight of somebody's life and make them make that decision to either go left or right. You know
and it could go one or two ways when you meet them. They were awesome. I can't wait to take another look at their product, or they were total dicks and I don't want anything to do with them. Yeah.
You're absolutely right, man, because I remember the day, and I always talk about this, man. Like, I was reading about Digger Mesh and like Action Figure Digest and Toy Fair magazine, like when he started Art Asylum and everything. Like, I was enamored by that dude. And when I finally met him at Spencer Gifts, man, he was just so cool. You know what I mean? Like he asked me, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like he was asking me instead of him doing the talking or like being a dick. He was like, yo, what's on your mind? No, let me, like, what do you have to say? And that was just so validating. And we couldn't be more different. You know what I'm saying? But with when he allowed me to express myself, that's when I was just, that's when we became close. You know what I'm saying?
Knowing that he wanted to find out about you. Yeah.
Right. So it doesn't matter about, where you come from, what you look like, what gender you are, what race you are, whatever. When you give someone the opportunity to actually, like, when you listen to them, when you really listen to them and you engage with them about what is central to the core, that's when it's like, that's when I'll be like, man, we all could have been best friends because we all love the same comics, the music and all that. Or if we didn't, we would have followed each other into that realm because that trust and that bond is there. Just like you're like, hey, let me listen to you. You know what I mean? Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that goes a long way. I remember Marilyn Manson said when they asked him about the Columbine killing, they was like, what would you say? And he was like, I wouldn't say anything. I would listen to them. I would listen to his kids. Maybe if someone would have listened to them as opposed to talking down or talking to them, maybe that whole thing wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it's always like, wait, shut up and listen. No, let me. Okay.
You had to bring all that into it. I actually had something to say, but now I got nothing.
Man,
No. Really, actually, I want to give Eddie his props on saying that you don't know whose life you're going to change. Like,
right?
I never thought about that whole sentence. At all.
Dr. Brentley right there, man.
Well,
I just took it. I just put it in verbals, but yeah.
But I've never thought about that, and like I run ToyMercs
on a daily basis.
I run ToyMercs on Instagram, and like. And I've never thought about that, and I've heard so many people say things like that to me about that, but it didn't hit me until just now when you said it, and it's just like, wow, it's true. It's like I never went out there and tried to do it. It's just like like I think Vonner was trying to say the same thing. It's like you don't ever really try to do it, but like it does happen in the instances come to you, like you get those opportunities and you don't ever know that you did it.
Right.
Exactly. At the end of the day.
Like, well, that's what I heard with that sentence you said. I was just like, wow.
I mean, at the end of the day, you changed somebody's life and you had no idea.
Had no idea.
Something and the moment changed and they left, and now you were like, okay, all I did was say something. That's it. But to them, that was like,
I know it's crazy, right? It's great. Like back to the Digger thing. I remember because he did the Speed Racer toys, like for the Wachowski Brothers Speed Racer movie, and I'll never forget it. They had this big party, like somewhere in New York, and I showed up, and it totally surprised him. And he was so surprised he sobered up. He was like, "Yo, where the hell you been?" And I was like, "Man," and I had tears in my eyes. I was like, "Bro, you changed my life. You changed my life just by engaging with me, man." Like, and he had no idea that just that little bit of time would impact me so much. You know what I mean? So I always give him props, and you're right, man. Like, you just never know whose life you change or steer that different direction in. Just by giving them, that little bit of,
like, man, Vonner lived the same steps as I did, so he did it. I can't fucking do that.
Well, it reminds me. It reminds me of the conversation.
You're doing it, Eddie. You're totally doing it. You just did it. You just did it with me. Just now.
It reminds me of our conversations at Mattel, David, when I was just a nobody little person there, and you still gave me the time of day, and I didn't know who David was, but you could tell he was somebody just by the way he carried himself and by how people treated him in the room. So I always just felt blessed that he would even talk to me. But the things he would say were so inspiring. And those kind of things have carried me through. It's a bunch of little things that give you the strength to keep going. And like we were talking about earlier, we could have changed our brand, after all that and gone and done plush dolls or something, you know, and figured out another way.
Hey,
but
plush
it
is
wouldn't have
still in
been
the
Talking about
genuine.
plush dolls. Shut up with that garbage.
Hey, we have a real quick. We have a
It wouldn't have
comment
been
over.
genuine.
We have a comment over on our Instagram. It's Threads of Destiny comic said, "My son's going feral." But you guys, it's been a pleasure to listen to you all, and the fact that you all are speaking with passion and love for the topics. Thank you. It made my evening. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Threads of Destiny. Appreciate
Deal
you
with that
stopping by.
feral child.
Yeah.
Feral kids. You got to get him under wraps.
This is the witching hour.
Kids. We've all had feral kids. If you've
This is
had
the
kids,
witching hour for feral kids. Like
Yeah.
around this time, this is when they off the chain, man.
Yeah.
my brother-in-law would just be like at Halloween and stuff. He'd be like, "No, let them eat candy."
Yeah.
He knew they'd run around and then collapse. You know, no, let them go.
You know what? Sidebar: Rob Zombie's Halloween. The first one is such a case study about like children and all that. But if you notice, the thing that took Michael Myers over the top was when he loaded up on those candy corns. If you that was the thing that sent him over the top.
Well,
Okay,
you know
back
what's
to a
crazy?
different.
You know what's crazy about candy corn is that they actually made all of the candy corn they were ever going to make at one point in time, and they just keep repackaging it.
It's in a silo somewhere.
It's
They
still there,
don't
huh?
make it every year. It's just all it was all made in the 50s, and they just keep trying to
And it
push
still
that shit
tastes
out.
just as good. You know,
Last-
I kind of dig it
last-
sometimes. I
Last
could go for a
Halloween,
handful.
Chet, I think it was the 40s actually, but
last
And
Halloween,
to go back to what Kelly said, only reason he keeps saying plush is because we've done plush.
Yeah.
Plush is actually kind of cool, and the way we're trying to go with plush is a different direction that we think our collectors will like. I have like a sample of I did, like it's like articulated, and they're like, you know, like look, you might be look, it's like it's a little rabbit, right? But look, it's like fully articulated. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we have all kinds of ideas that we've, you know what I'm saying? So plush is not out of the realm. Like, so just to you know, throw that out there, you know, like that's why he keeps saying it. Because
if you guys are interested, I actually have a
plush manufacturer. There we go.
I do have a plush manufacturer, and I have a design for the logo for the company already.
I like
Let me
plush.
see it.
I like
need to
plush
see it.
because there's no tooling involved.
I need to see that, and you can make it happen
fine.
a lot faster. Yeah, you
Just
just
to
need
go
the
back
material.
to candy corn real quick, my favorite meme I saw last Halloween was a little candy corn holding a sign that said, "I hate you too."
Man, I like candy corn though.
No, I do too, but it's
Okay.
funny, you know, because it's
Because everybody hates it. You know,
It tastes like trouble, man. You
there
know
we
what I
go.
mean?
Dr. Brantley likes it too. I think it tastes.
Wait, do you guys?
No. Candy corn is beautiful in
You
its
know,
own
as a
candy
kid-
corn way.
Wait, do you guys like fruitcakes too?
Oh, like the
Fruit
tasty
tarts.
cakes,
Fruit
like
tarts
the
are pretty
cherry, the
good. You ever had a
blueberry
fruit
joint?
tart? Fruit tart was like
No, I'm not talking.
talking.
No. I'm not talking about fruit tarts. I'm talking about legit in a box fruit cake.
Yeah, I think that it's like cake. It's like dried fruit inside the cake, right? Like no, I don't think. Yeah, no.
No, it's one of those deals where you got to take like the headband off Chet.
It's like jelly though, fruit. It's not real fruit at that point. It's like dehydrated fruit, and like it's.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah. See.
All right.
Fresh
On the
fruit
East
tarts
Coast, man, we got the tasty cakes, man, and it got like the blueberry filling, the apple. I used to love the blueberry. I don't know what that chemical was, but yo,
It's delicious, I think is what they called it.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
interesting, Crooked Smile. I might try that.
A handful of peanuts and candy corn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit, that's gonna be a nice.
Payday's my shit. I love paydays.
Well, here's the thing. We're one of the main things. We're talking about the Bandito pre-launch, Bandito Radio pre-launch. Kelly, when is Bandito launching? We know we're doing a pre-launch, but we want to hear it from you.
We are launching Bandito Radio as soon as the show ends. In fact, we can do it before the show ends. I've got it all set up. All I have to do is hit play on Podbean and YouTube, and we can premiere Bandito Radio. So whenever you guys are ready to wrap it up, let me know, and I'll hit go, and people can go right over to Oddfrog Entertainment or Spotify, iHeartRadio on 112 FM Bandito Radio and catch it all.
Remember,
the first segment, like an introduction block, you know. Of
I think you should go right now and see how many people leave
I
to
was
go
gonna
over.
say, let Vonner explain what it is, like an introduction block to.
Yeah, it's going to be a loop, an introduction block of what what Bandito Radio is. You know,
I'll be right back.
Giving you a flavor of the music, a flavor of the shows, the audio dramas, the flavor of action figure frequencies. You know, we got a comedy drama on there. You know what I mean? Like I mean, it's so much for the listener. Like I was sitting there listening to it, man, and I had the TV off. And I was just like listening to it like for 2 hours, bro. Like for 2 hours.
It's gonna go on, yeah. So it's cool. Like you like he said, it's a loop, and you'll be able to hear it just like the radio. And it's like it plays shows, like auditory shows, comedy skits and shows, and just like if you were listening to any other radio station, there's DJs, action figure frequencies on their show, and they talk about stuff, and they're hosting a podcast, and then they go into independent music artists, different genres, and it's a very long loop, and it's just a preview. And then we'll have things we've developed of how to monetize it, how to get independent artists on it, and getting money in their pockets and cash flow flowing, and
that's another thing. To that point, man, it's fair. You know what I mean? It's like what we're doing is offering like the artists, like the lion's share of the revenue, like an 80-20 split. You know what I mean? And taking the lessons or hearing the stories of how, like, God, hold on.
Okay, back up to 80-20.
Yeah, it's going to be like an 80-20 split. So the artist gets 80% of the revenue.
That is fucking amazing for an artist.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean,
80-20 is that's insane. What else do you have to say about that?
Right, like
pour it out.
Dogg has a story like he had like 1 billion streams, only got like $4 grand or something like that.
Yeah.
And just historically, the music industry has just been so shady when it comes to stuff like that. And to the point that was made earlier, we're all musicians. We've all played music at some point in time, but we're all artists, and it's like, let's make this fair for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're not trying to be a record label. We want to make toys, so it only makes sense to put the value back into the product.
Mr. Doc, I told you I was going to call you Doc from here on out. On Tomb earlier, I've been in tons of bands. If you're local, let's do it. Let's start it. Whatever.
No, he'll fly up to you.
It gives the artist incentive to do their best and to push Bandito Radio, and in return, it gives us the incentive to push the Bandito to even more areas like that product. And it's that's the cool thing. Is like if you think about an album, or a tape, or a CD, or even like an iPod, that's your access to music. It's like that stuff is embedded on those materials, but that's your access to it. And it's the same thing with the Bandito. The Bandito is your access to entertainment, to content, to music, to shows that pique your interest, or led by like you guys with action figure frequencies that's actually like of the genre of that, and it's like you guys are like MTV VJs in a way, you know what I'm saying?
Literally,
that's what made MTV so cool. You know what I mean? It was like, man, this music is being curated by people who know music. This, Bandito Radio, which is a part of Bandito, the product is being curated by collectors. You know what I'm saying? By actual people who love this stuff. And to me, that's what makes it even more legitimate, more cool, and just more satisfying, because it's like it's our own thing. It's for us, by us. If you don't get it, then hey, buy the product. Buy it for somebody that will get it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the cool thing about it.
Do you know somebody that might like what we're doing? And I lost my train of thought right there, but
somebody knows somebody.
It's been a long day.
Kelly been putting in work.
Kelly
putting in work, y'all.
Now's the time to do it. Now's the time, and I love the work. I mean, that's what it's. I will say, since David's come on board, like, it's been frantic because there's so much opportunity and so much No, it's wonderful,
though.
David.
It's
Please,
worth
I'm not asking for.
It's
pity.
worth it.
Forgive me for my late night rants.
We see the overall picture and the vision for the long run. You know what I'm saying? So doing the work now is worth that picture.
Well, and what I like about it is we do want to be that be-all toy company. We can build prototypes, we can build story, we can do voiceovers, we can do editing, you know, and so I just want to be there for David and all his ventures and stuff like that, and at the same time show that we can do all these things that we're promising as far as design and quality and production. And
Thank you,
yeah,
Skelly.
so I couldn't be more grateful.
That's a good point, and thank you, Kelly. But that's good. Like Oddfrog Entertainment is really like the Bandito is just one portion of what these guys are magnificently doing. You know, like there's a bunch of stuff that's happening behind the scenes. Like you know, my vision for them is actually to be like a full service, like a Gentle Giant. You know what I mean? Like let's
entertainment company. That's why Kelly called it Oddfrog Entertainment.
Right. Where we can do like, you know, it could be your spot to get your prototype done. It could be your spot to launch your music career. It could be the spot to maybe get a marketing kind of thing. It could be your spot to do all this stuff. And these guys have been handling it. And also too with the Bandito radio block that you know Kelly put up, man, that's just a small portion of the flavor of Bandito Radio. That's not even all the stuff. Like, you know, like I mean, it's so like with Myra's Morgan Midnight Madness is so dope. Like it's such.
We have Patrick with the garage.
Yeah, man. I mean, like there's so much, man. Like and even with the music artists, like we're still getting stuff in.
Yeah,
like, we're still getting music in.
Yeah.
You know?
Actually, most of our folders are minimal right now. So when they fill out, we'll have a whole plethora of stuff. You know.
I'm convinced,
but I think what David Bonner is trying to say here is that there's a lot coming in right now. Like I just procured a license today. I got a lot going on out there, and you know, got a lot of feelers. Got a lot of people coming in to me. And to you, and everybody's working on their own thing here, and there's a whole lot more coming.
Yeah,
to this Bandito Radio.
Yep.
I think that's what
and you just said the key word too, license. Man, we got licensed Banditos coming out, bro.
Yeah,
yes,
you know what I mean? Like,
dude, I know it. There's also
other licensed
licenses.
Banditos coming out that would include like decal wraps that that include graphics and tell stories on the Bandito themselves that help you tell stories. We have kits that we could potentially get licensed. We have kits that are going to change the aesthetic and the look of the Bandito. We have all sorts of things planned out that are going to push the Bandito, the Chop Shop, Oddfrog Entertainment to be able to compete and hold our table and hold our own and be there at Toyland with whoever's there, the third party company. You know, we just want to be able to present our stuff and be like, we know what we're doing, we're trying, and this is what we're offering, and here it is.
And you'll also see us in the comic book somewhere. You know,
you definitely will. It's outside.
Well, I have a question for the group though. So let's say we got people listening, or someone's listening after the fact, and they think they have something that they'd like to contribute. Like, where are they going to go to figure out how to get all that done?
Literally, they can go to Eddie at Oddfrog Entertainment, Kelly at Oddfrog Entertainment, and we can get that directly to Vonner. Get to us. You can get to Vonner via DM. Literally, we're just your average people. We do work every day. We're kind of busy, but we try to get a hold of you guys. DM, anything.
Yep, and I still answer the phone. I think the Joker the other day was surprised when he called up to ask about his order, and I answered the phone, and we were so excited about the going into production. I got to talk to him for 20 minutes, and we had a great conversation.
We have people every day that we can see on our Wix that they have the invoices. Oh, they looked at their invoice, paid. People keep paying every day, and we have their information. They send us messages and they're like, "Oh wow, you guys replied so fast. Thank you." Like I was telling that you surprise people as a company, the fact that you can reply to somebody and like actually care, like that
Yes.
makes their day. You know what I'm saying? It's, to me, it's just a quick text like, oh yeah, I got your order, we're all good, squared away, man, thank you for that, and have a great day. And to them, that's like, wow, like
totally,
wow, like
totally. To Eddie's point, you know, I've been a small business owner since I was 23 years old. I met my daughter's mom, and I was working construction, and I was like, oh man, I have to impress this girl somehow. So I started a business, and it lasted me 12 years, you know, and I learned a lot as I went. I was very young compared to the other people that were in it. And to Eddie's point, it's that you know, you got to be doing the work when nobody else is. You got to do everything so that you know every facet of that business, so you can show someone else how it is that you do it around here later. So yeah, we do everything. We do the you know, the customer service and all that stuff. And for me, it's important to get right back to people and be friendly as possible, so that they know, you know, if you cancel your order, oh, that's great, no problem, we hope to see you back soon. You know, and you got to do everything when you're a business, so that you know every detail and how to show someone else every detail.
I said it always from the beginning. Always keep it cordial. You know, we stand our ground. We hold our own, but we keep it cordial, and we try to be as nice as possible. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like a company should do. You know what I'm saying? Keep it cordial, but do what you want to do, and listen to people. That's it is what it is. It's 1 + 1. If you can do it, you can make people, you know, it's kind of, it sounds like it, but it takes time, and you just got to do the work. But it kind of sounds that easy, man, when you put it in the layman's terms, I guess.
That sounded easy. So like I said, so it's launching, let's say about 5 minutes from now.
That sounds perfect. Alexander, you gave the word. 5 minutes from now, we're going. 8:30 it is.
No. I say launch it now and say when people leave.
8:30.
No, because I don't want them to miss the stereo flowers.
That's good. 8:30, we're launching Bandito Radio.
No offense to you with the Shadowe Knows Network, but I'm saying, like, let's see what happens right now. Let's do it. Let's launch it.
I had to put stereo flowers as the first band on there, and I don't want anybody to miss them, so we'll wait.
Yeah, the stereo flowers kicks everything off, man. I mean, they're high power, bro. I mean, I'm telling you, the music that we have, you know, from the stereo flowers and Noel, you know, I mean, it's just crazy. It is insane. The amount
extremely dynamic. Yep.
And it's all. I mean, you are going all over the map with it, like it's everywhere. We got punk in there, you know what I'm saying? We got some punk rock in there. Good. You know what I mean? It's so much. It's really, really dope, and it's really, really cool to be.
We got Shardamus Prime in there.
Yeah, Shardamus is doing his thing. You know what I mean? And I love it because, you know, whether you
isn't Boog Nice in this too?
Well, he was going to be in there. He was, but you know, he had some personal stuff going on, so he had to back out.
He Nice backed music,
out, huh?
Yeah, but we got some other, you know, super dope.
Kelly, you gotta let me know about these things so I don't say stupid shit like that.
Shout out to Boog Nice, man. You know, he's definitely like, you know, one of the OGs of the, you know, the
ACBA.
ACBA.
Yeah, he was one of those guys, man. He started the ACBA thing, right? Like, he was
yeah. So, but you know, we got a lot of good, talented people, you know, really doing their thing.
Yeah.
And the like, I just can't say it enough. Bandito Radio is just such an eclectic mix. It's like that the perfect big salad. You know what I mean? It's that perfect big salad where it just got everything in there, everything for you.
All right. Yeah.
So what you're saying is Bandito Radio is the equivalent to a Cobb salad?
Yeah.
You know, if that's your favorite salad, you know, whatever dressing you want to dress it with, let's do it, bro.
Hey, Cobb salad's got a lot of good shit going on, man. He's not wrong.
You know,
if you like the tossed salad,
I mean, yeah.
If you like the tossed,
Bandito
Radio takes care of business.
You know what I like to say too is that I remember, for whatever reason, I'm not a big video game guy anymore, but because I'm into toys and building this. But when I was, and you know, in my early 20s, when I was working for another entity, me and my brother-in-law played Diablo 2 for the first time, like that morning before we went to work or the night before or something like that. We were so into it. We were talking about it all day. And I just think to myself now with Bandito Radio, if there had been something that could have allowed us to listen to what we were into during the day, where we don't have to look at the screen because we were working, but we can put our headphones on and still be involved with our hobby and what we're excited about, man, that would have been awesome. But, you know, there was nothing like that. So
now it is. Now it is. Welcome to the future.
At 8:30 tonight, it is launching for anybody, Bandito Radio, for the toy enthusiasts and all of us. If you're a collector, if you're a customizer, a photographer, or just somebody that just loves the realm itself, this is based for toys. You're going to get a full immersed experience. It's going to be something that's going to beg to differ again. If you're in the middle of the night and you're trying to do your favorite customs like our buddies KS Collectibles is, you got something to listen to. If you're like, you know, snapping photos and it's like, I just need that inspiration, you got it right there. That's what Bandito Radio.
So you're saying 2 minutes. This is going to happen in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Down in 2 minutes.
This is like New Year's. This is like New Year's, baby.
I've got a big red button
from now. 1 minute from now.
1 minute from now, I've got a big red button ready to go.
1 minute.
But knowing me, I'll push the wrong one. No.
We're gonna have to work on that.
Where's Mikey?
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like I said, no,
he was on and then he left. I don't know.
He popped in. Yeah, we'll have to see. Look, you know, it comes to the moment. Maybe Mikey was just like, you know what, I'm going to give these guys their prime, and I'll be in a little later or something. But hey, look, everybody out there is listening to us right now. We like to thank everybody. Please like, comment, and subscribe. But just like, comment, and subscribe over here. Over to the Skeleton Collectibles, and make sure you're doing that for the brilliant and awesome show that comes on before us at 6 p.m. The Skelton Tomb, and that's got Mr. Deadmanwon and Scully over there. So make sure you're actually going over there, like, comment, and subscribing to that. Normally, after us, it'd be at 8 o'clock. It would be our boys, the Sarlacc Digest. They are over there doing their thing. And again, the last several weeks we've had great guests on, so we've gone a little bit, but you guys can go over there and do the replay for that. And then over here on the Shadowe Knows Network, where you've got Toy Box Chronicles here, and like Chet says, you've listened to the rest, now listen to the best. Toy Box Chronicles every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Friday, we've got Dr. Brentley, who's answering the right questions. Rad, that's actually coming in and doing the same thing as well. We're on at Friday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rocking and all. If you're on YouTube, Rumble, X, you know, any of Instagram, we are everywhere, and also hard at work right now. I think Chet and Maddox can tell you something. We got a Discord coming, but it's just not us, because we couldn't just do us. The floor is yours, Mr. Maddox.
Yes, sir. You can find the Discord link in our YouTube channel at the top. Is actually there. We're asking that everyone just join that if you want to be part of the crew. It's still being built in process, with everyone that you see here having their own sections and chats and everything else. And if you are members of specific channels, whether it's you're an actual paid member on our channel, which our channel entry level is 99 cents, you do get access to premium features on the Discord, as well as if you're members and paying members of Oddfrog Entertainment or Sarlacc or anything that you may pay extra for. All we need to know is we're about it, but we're taking the community and building a non-toxic, supporting community in the Discord, which is still growing. And just like everything we do, feedback is always welcome. We're looking to get better. If you're better at Discord than I am, or the people running it, we're up for hearing your story and seeing where you can benefit. We're really excited about it, because some of the added features are, if you are a actual paying member, you do get access to what we're going to be starting to do on Toy Box Chronicle and Pixel Plastic Inc., which is live call-in. So if you're watching the show and you're like, oh, I really need to get in on this, I really want to ask this question, but you don't want to do it in the chat, you'll get access to specific stages inside our Discord that allow you to phone in, and we will talk to you live for 5 minutes or however long it takes us to answer the question. But there is a lot more coming in. We're working on ways to integrate benefits on Discords for if you actually own one of the Banditos, there's certain perks you'll get on that based on your pink slips. So everyone stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff happening on there. But as always, like I said, you did listen to the rest. Now it's time to hear the best. And we want to appreciate everybody over at Oddfrog and Deadman with ToyMercs and the Skelton Tomb and Sarlacc. We love you guys, everyone involved. We appreciate you. But I feel like our time right now, currently, is probably done. So we want you to come back and subscribe, and we expect to see everybody all the time, always. And for all of you 110,000 people watching, you better hit up Bandito Radio. Until next time, thank you, everybody. Does anyone have any final sign-offs before we go?
I'm just going to say I'm going to press play on the instant premiere of Bandito Radio on Oddfrog Entertainment YouTube. So go there now if you want to check it out. It's got a great 1 minute long or so intro by the Howlin' Jim Jackson himself. And the Action Figure Frequencies is in there. Joke Junction, Mikey's Joke Junction is in there. We've got ads for comic books. We've got news stories, break-ins.
Well, where can we hear the Oddfrog Entertainment?
112 FM
Bandito Radio.
112 FM Bandito Radio on iHeart, Spotify, Amazon Music, any of the streaming platforms. We're on them all. And then also as well as Oddfrog Entertainment on YouTube under our 112 FM Bandito Radio podcast, which will be premiering. I'm going to hit it right now, guys, while we're on. Here we go. Here we go. Instant premiere starts right now.
There it is. And with that said,
all right, guys.
Great show, guys.
Go
ahead. I was to say, Toy Box Chronicles, you guys run such a tight ship. It's so pro. We love you guys, and we could not be prouder to have you part of the team.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys, all the fans, everybody who's pre-ordered, everybody who's thinking about it. We have something going on here that's, unheard of, untouched before, and something very unique. So jump on board, find out everything you need at oddfrogentertainment.com. And yeah, Shadow, you SKN Network, you guys, it's all here. They'll sign off on that part.
Mr. Vonner, you have the floor.
I just can't thank you guys enough. I sent you guys an email today, man. I absolutely love you guys, genuinely.
Much appreciated.
I cannot thank you all enough, man, for just like letting this little kid keep on dreaming. You know what I'm saying? And all you guys, man, it's so greatly appreciated. I love you all. Have fun, man. Have fun with Bandito Radio, and stay tuned to get your Bandito, man. Like put those orders in, because it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, and check us out in Toylanta, and be a part of the fun. Be a part.
Thank you, Dr. Brantley.
It's gonna be dope.
Awesome.
And for the Deadmanwon over there, well, actually, we can just announce this. March 5th, if you think we haven't stopped and done all the craziness with having Mr. Vonner on, Sergeant Banana, the Bandito pre-launch show tonight, March 5th. It's a double cast night. It's going to be over there on the Skeleton Tomb on YouTube with Deadmanwon and Skelly, and it's going to be us. So we're going to do 2 hours back to back because we might just damn near do 3-4 hours. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it's going to be a long one. I guarantee it.
It's like an old school telethon, man.
I'm going to have to pay attention to how much I have to drink that night. Honestly,
that's all right. We're all going to do it the same. We'll see who's the last man standing. Actually, I think it's probably going to be Deadman.
Well, Alexander, man,
you're probably right. You're probably right about that. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's something we've been talking about for a while. I'm really glad it's happening. But anyway,
Alexander, you're going to have some of that big unk with you, that Uncle Nurse
right here, brother.
Yeah,
we're going to have that
in
bringing several bottles to Toyland.
I guarantee it'll be a different bottle than this one. I can guarantee you that.
We like we say on Wednesday nights, we got you covered. We got you covered.
I can't wait to see who's showing up early the next day in Toyland.
I'll be there.
Who's going to show up on time at their booth?
I will be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. A little worse for wear, but I'll be there.
There's something Toyland will remember, and that is that you cannot start the convention unless I'm there.
Yeah.
just make sure you change your underwear, brothers. Just make sure.
You just turn them inside out. Try them for the next day.
A little Febreze.
There you go.
this is what we're going to do, gentlemen. We'll have you guys don't go anywhere. We're going to sign up, but we'll have you guys in the green room that's not green. And for everyone out there, Mr. Maddox always closes the show. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I think we closed it. I think we're good. I think it's exciting. And look, hey, again, we appreciate everybody and everything that's been going on. But the time is done. The time is now. Just like John Cena, you can't see me. So we'll see you on Friday.